Good, happy weekend to all the sports fans out there. And you know what? When you hear that music start to play, you know I'm about to say, welcome to the BW and Go podcast. I want to thank you guys for showing up again. Going to be a great weekend of football this weekend. Oh my goodness, it is the third Saturday in October, and all of the Alabama-Tennessee fans know it is time for the Cigar Bowl. That's right, the winner gets to light one up. Guys, I smoke one cigar a year, and it's right after we beat Tennessee. So, welcome.
Womp womp.
Welcome, first of all, thank you for being here again there, Go. We've got our producer, Amy, is back with us this week, and she brought all kinds of goodies with her. Kids, this is why we don't bet in sports. If you'll notice, I am no longer wearing my beloved Alabama national championship
Let's stand up and give all our viewers, our 11 viewers, a nice, good look at that.
We'll put the picture up.
Look at that, yes. No, stand up.
No, the picture will go right now over the bridge. You'll all see him standing there enjoying it.
So
he loves the pretty color it brings out his
my
eyes.
Beloved Vanderbilt shirt that our producer got for us. And anyway, congrats on Vandy having, by the way, a bang-up season. They are 2-1 in the SEC. One of those two being against, you know who. 4-2 overall. When is the last time Vanderbilt was even 4-2?
I'm sure we can find it.
Phenomenal.
For sure.
I mean, way to go, Vanderbilt. Anyway, it is at least pink, so we're supporting
Breast cancer awareness. It is October.
There it is. So there's a silver lining in the ridiculous coloring. Anyway, so somebody that doesn't need a silver lining, let's get our favorite bartender, Miss Amy, and find out what our specials are here. We are once again at our favorite bar, Recovery Sports Grill. Great place, great food, great atmosphere, and tons of televisions. They've got the playoffs for baseball going, the WNBA playoffs, and also the obviously football. So anyway, take it away.
So we do have some really great specials for football season this year. We do have $4 pints of Miller Lite Coors Light, $5 pints of Blue Moon, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Monday is a great day to come in to Recovery Sports Grill Chesapeake. We have $1 chicken wings all day, open to close, with or without football. Please pop by and visit us for that. You will not get a better deal anywhere else in town. Tuesdays, 2 tacos for $6. Wednesdays, we have a brand new chicken tender flight. You can get any 4 sauces that you like. Ours are homemade, everyday, fresh ingredients. Thursdays, we have our burger special, which is my favorite day of the week. $5 home run burger, $7 specialty burgers. And we would love to see you guys out here on any day of the week, specials or not, football or not.
So we are back. Let's talk about last week. Gold, you and I did really well last week. You were 5-1. The only one you missed was when LSU pulled it out against Ole Miss. And
Ohio State. Right?
Do what?
Ole Miss? What did Ohio State? Oh, no, that was
No,
Oregon.
LSU 29, Ole Miss 26. That was it's a great
So-
game. I picked LSU just to be different.
I remember, yeah.
Anyway, but I was 6-0 last week. That's the best, one of the better weeks I've had.
Nice.
Now, if we were talking about non-SEC games, how about Oregon and Ohio State? What a ball game! Instant classic.
I mean, I didn't think Oregon was that real, but it seems
I think
that
they are. They're right
now,
there.
Yeah.
Now, if I was looking right, they're now in the same conference. They didn't used to be, but they are now, and they could end up rematching in the championship for that conference. Well, what a game that would be! And so it could be similar to like Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Alabama. Any of these scenarios could happen.
Alabama, Vanderbilt.
I mean, maybe.
Hey,
the
maybe
dark
we
horse.
get Vanderbilt. You know
Yeah.
what? I should start rooting for them to make the playoffs, and we get a rematch.
and it'll go the same way.
Oh, whatever. Did she was somewhere else last week, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to start planning her schedule better for Friday nights. Anyway. All right, let's talk about it. South Carolina, 25, Alabama, 27. Alabama pulled that one out. I got to tell you, even as an Alabama fan, that was an absolute gift. South Carolina really showed up in that game, played very well. Our 17-year-old phenom there is the absolute saving grace for our football team this year. So we pulled one out at home. Obviously, this week we'll talk about just a little bit going into Knoxville State. But Texas 34, Oklahoma 3. Texas just keeps rolling along.
Just rolling. They started off a little slow. Quinn getting his start back from injury.
Yeah.
Looking a little rough at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's why.
Are they starting to holler for Manning down there yet?
They did the whole first half for sure. But we'll see. Sark is saying he's keeping Quinn as the starter. So we'll see how it goes.
I think that's a good idea. I think you let him have his year, because again, they're still, they're first in the country right now. It's not like they're having a bad year,
Yeah, I don't think Manning's going to see the field unless they're blowing people out. They'll put him in.
Tell you what, they keep blowing people out, though. So, Mississippi State 31, Georgia 41. That was closer than I thought it would be. Georgia, I went back last night and I watched a little bit of that game. Georgia's secondary is suspect. Mississippi State laid some pretty good plays on them. And the reason I bring that up is, when Georgia plays Tennessee, Tennessee's got that offense, man, where Georgia may struggle with Tennessee. They really might. Now, granted speaking, we may struggle with Tennessee for that same reason.
Yeah, it really depends on a lot. I mean, that's, Nico looked pretty rough at the beginning of that game as well. And Georgia, if they can do anything, it's rush the passer. Well, those four front guys.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think tomorrow, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Florida 17, Tennessee 23. Our prediction on Florida, by the way, let me find you. See, Florida is sitting at 1-2 in the SEC, 3-3 overall. And again, their schedule does not get easier; it gets harder from here. So, again, Florida fans, just hang in there. That's all I can tell you. But Tennessee did not look great last week. This Tennessee-Alabama game is going to be an interesting matchup. One other game last week, Ole Miss, LSU 26, LSU 29. Great game, though. Absolute barn burner. Stayed it, back and forth. LSU came away with the win at the very end there. Super Bowl game, though. Not as good as Ohio State, Oregon, but pretty close.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to do it. So we'll put Week 7 in the books. Let's move on to Week 8. But before we do that, why don't we let our folks at the hot dog place have their say, and we'll move on from there.
All right.
Craving something truly unique and delicious? Look no further than Danny's Downtown Dogs in the heart of Suffolk. Introducing the legendary Suffolk Dog, a flavor explosion of hot dog, creamy peanut butter, and sweet, crispy candied bacon. It's a taste sensation that's sure to satisfy your cravings. Danny's Downtown Dogs isn't just about great food. It's about creating unforgettable memories. That's why they are proud to be named Best Hot Dog, Best Takeout, and Best Kid-Friendly Restaurant by the Suffolk News Herald. Come experience the magic of Danny's Downtown Dogs. They're your go-to spot for delicious food and friendly service. Visit them today or order online for pickup or Uber Eats. Satisfy your curiosity with the Suffolk Dog. Whether you're a local or just passing through, Danny's Downtown Dogs is the must-visit spot for hot dog lovers. So come on down and experience a taste of Suffolk.
Once again, back it's Week 8. Oh my goodness, going to be a great week. Auburn at Mizzou. What did you tell me about the folks in Vegas on that game, Auburn and Mizzou?
Yeah, the where to put your money, if you believe those Vegas people, is the Auburn is the upset of the week. Mizzou not looking too good. We'll see. I don't think Auburn's been great either, but I don't know.
Well, you know what? Why don't we'll go ahead and start picking. I'm going to take Mizzou in that one. It's in Missouri. So what do you think? You gonna?
I'll take Auburn because
I'm going to
Mizzou
Auburn.
disappointed me so much. Lost all my trust.
Producer Amy is going Auburn. All right. Next game, I kind of know how this is going to go. Alabama at Tennessee. The last time we were there, they ended up winning and throwing their goalpost in the river. So we'll
Tennessee.
see. So it is, producer Amy, not surprisingly, is going Tennessee.
Do you wanna wear a Tennessee hat if Tennessee wins to go with your Vanderbilt
He's
shirt?
like, I know they're going to lose. I'm not going to take that bet.
I do think we're going to win, but I'm probably not going to bet on it.
It's going to be really interesting. I think.
It should be a great game.
On paper, it's so close. Like,
Yeah, and the thing is both teams struggle. Like some weeks they're fantastic, and other weeks they're very average.
And they're both on the. Last week was a downturn for both of them.
And here's the thing:
struggle.
this is actually, and this is where we disagree. I think 2 losses keeps you out of the playoffs.
I think the way this year is unfolding, I think the SEC champ might have 2 losses at this point. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Texas is the outlier. They're crushing it.
But if Georgia were to beat Texas next week,
That's true.
that would give everybody in the SEC would have at least 1 loss.
It seems unlikely though at this point.
Yeah,
it really
I
does.
think Texas is going to get them tomorrow. I really do.
Yeah. Outside of Texas, though, I mean.
Well, and I think that's going to be the difference. I think Texas wins it. They're undefeated. I think if you've got 1 loss, you're in almost automatic. I think if you've got 2 losses, I think it's going to, I don't know, because you've got some, as you would call outliers out there. Army and Navy are both undefeated. You've got the ACC folks this year.
Hoorah.
Well, you're going to have Clemson. I mean, they're going to be there. They don't play anybody else, so they're going to have 1 loss, which was to Georgia.
Yeah.
So it's a good loss, and I think they're there with 1 loss. Miami of Florida will go into the championship game. Well, probably against Clemson in the ACC. So one of them, could either be undefeated or only 1 loss. So. I don't know. Anyway, Jay.
It's a lot of spots. 12 is a lot of spots. That's
It is
all
a lot
I'm
of
saying.
spots. That's fair.
Yeah,
That
I would
is
be
very
shocked
fair.
if a big name school, the people that get that preferential treatment that may or may not be fair, the hype treatment, right?
Right.
The people that get that effect, the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Notre Dame.
Right.
I'm not saying they're going to put Notre Dame in there 2 losses, but
They
I'm just
put
saying
Notre
those
Dame in
teams.
with 4 losses. They don't care,
I mean, it gets the views, They're but Vanderbilt's building that program, the way it's going.
Alabama, Tennessee. What do you think?
I'm Tennessee. I can't root for Alabama.
All righty, Tennessee.
The one time I pick them, they lose to Vanderbilt. So,
Texas A&M at Mississippi State. I'm going A&M.
Oh, man.
I'm going to say Mississippi just because they're at home.
A&M's hot, but I'm going to – no, I'm A&M. I can't give Mississippi State any.
All right.
I can't, even though they're Bulldogs. I'd go A&M.
LSU at Arkansas. And just to let me fill you in on that one. Arkansas and LSU. Oh, wow. Arkansas is 2-1, 4-2 overall.
Yeah.
And LSU is 2-0 in the SEC and 5-1 overall.
Arkansas's figured some things out, but LSU's defense kind of showed up at the end of the game after I berated them, so I'm going to go LSU.
Okay, I'm going LSU as well.
I'm going
Producer
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Amy's going Arkansas.
Hey, we're going to have somebody either really good next week
Yeah.
or somebody's going to come in here with a really bad record.
Yeah, that's all good.
Okay, Georgia at Texas. I'm going to go Texas.
Ugga.
Ugga over Texas?
Going Ugga.
Wow.
All right.
I got to go with the Bulldogs.
What do you think?
I'm in Texas. I just don't see
Okay.
don't see it
We
happening.
shall see. So again, let's talk about third Saturday in October. This game has been a rivalry forever. What's fantastic, and let me give a shout out to the Tennessee fans. Tennessee went through a period. They had Philip Fulmer. When they had him, he was the head coach that won their national championship for them. Most people think it was Peyton Manning. It was not. It was the year after Peyton. But Peyton got them to a championship. They just didn't win. The year after they did win the national championship, and several years after that, they fired Philip Fulmer, thinking they could get somebody better. As it turns out, that turned out not to be such a great call. But through the wilderness, the Tennessee fans win. bad coach after bad coach. And I'm not talking about just mildly bad. I'm talking Butch Jones bad, okay? We went in there a couple times, beat the ever-living stuffing out of them. To their credit, Neyland Stadium sold out every time. Orange and white showed up every time. They went through, I think, what was the drought, I think, against us? It had been 30-some years, I think, or whatever it was since they beat us, or I forget. It was a really long time. Anyway, they beat us last time we were there. It was the first time they'd won, and they stormed the field and like I said, threw the goalpost in the river. All right, but here's the thing. They hired a good coach in Heupel. Josh Heupel's the real deal. He installed that offense where they simply go quicker than almost anybody you've ever seen in football. It's really a phenomenal thing to watch, how quickly they can run plays.
Yeah.
I think one of the keys seems to be against Bama is to hold the ball a long time, keep our offense off the field. That's not how Tennessee's built.
That's how Vanderbilt did it for sure.
And that's what South Carolina did.
The second half of the Georgia game, though, and granted they were playing catch up, and they exposed y'all pretty well. If it wasn't for Ryan Williams making an insane play, y'all lose that game. And they put Summons 28 points up.
The second half. Well, and then again, our defense has been really struggling. If we struggle like that against Tennessee will lay 50 or 60 points on you in a minute. I mean, they will not care,
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is Milrose, when he is just almost impossible to stop. I mean, you get to the end of the game, if it's close, he's going to find a way, make a way. He just comes up with it.
Except for during Vanderbilt.
Didn't against Vanderbilt.
I mean, that didn't work for him. I'm just saying that.
But here's the thing: it's Alabama, Tennessee. These two teams just genuinely do not like each other. Going to be a great game. It's at their house again. It should be a super game. I'm hoping we pull it out.
I think the difference is, as of week 8, if you just look at statistics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee has the second best defense in the NCAA, right? Texas is the only one better, and they're probably better because they have the ball so much. I guess it's always trash time, when they're playing, so they're just spinning their ears back. And then Alabama's sitting so far down that I can't even find them on this list. They're not even in the top 25.
That's the scary part. That's what's so concerning right there. Is that could turn out to be our Achilles heel, but we'll find out. What was so fun when Saban was there is that he had us so ready for games like this. You just knew we were going to go in ready. This year, we'll see. This is DeVoe's first Tennessee-Bama scenario, so we're about to see what we're made of, what they're made of, what our new coach is made of, and it should be a great game either way.
Y'all are going to have a serious lead at the half for it to happen. I feel like traveling
I think it's going to be an absolute shootout now. I think the last team with the ball wins, basically.
Oh, wow. I think you're underestimating that D Tennessee has. I don't know.
I am underestimating their D.
If they tackle Ryan Williams at the beginning, just commit the penalty, right? Just commit the penalty. You're only going to get called 25% of the time.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And that's funny because guys usually overestimate the D.
Yeah, funny.
All right, so Georgia, Texas is actually the game of the day. Let's talk a little bit about that. Georgia, Texas. Georgia's at Texas. I think that's important. It is. Georgia went into Alabama, lost on the road. Now, let's be fair, though. They spotted us 28 points. They only played the second half of that game.
Exactly.
If they do that against Texas, Texas will absolutely blow them out.
Sure.
But if they show up for all 4 quarters, that game could be very, very similar to what we're talking about with the...
if Beck plays the way he played in the second half at Bama, and Quinn starts off slow,
Georgia's
got
with the lead.
Yeah, Georgia's got a shot.
I think there are... As far as teams that are built to play with Texas, I think Bama could play with Texas, and I think Georgia could play with Texas. I'm not sure a whole lot of other people could for 4 quarters.
That being said, they've had a few people take them to the... Who was it, Kentucky that came real close? Who was it?
Well, Kentucky got close on Georgia. They
Georgia?
Okay. Yeah, I think Georgia beat Kentucky.
Did anyone get close in Texas?
I don't think anybody's been close to Texas yet. Texas has been blowing people out. I mean, I don't think they've really been challenged yet, have they?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, pull
We'll
their
figure
record,
that out.
pull their record up real quick.
Yeah.
Let's take a look and see. Because with the Texas folks, I mean, like even last week, I mean, it was 34-3. That's the Red River rivalry. That's supposed
true.
to be a big deal.
Yeah.
It used to be a big deal. And I mean, they absolutely blew Oklahoma out of the water. So
let's go back and see. All the way back. Kansas State, 24-27.
wow, that
Wait,
was
is that last year? Maybe I went far.
Well,
I went
let's-
too
yeah.
far back.
Let's at least get.
that seems not right. I don't know. All right, I'm failing. Yeah,
Okay.
whatever.
Either way, so we're gonna go with Texas tomorrow. I think at the end of the day they end up beating Georgia. Miss Amy may prove us wrong. Now, here's the other great thing: Kirby and Sark are both former Saban associates, so they've both been assistants for Saban. So you're gonna have that matchup as well. That Sark is familiar with Georgia. Obviously, have worked with Saban's staff because we played Georgia multiple times in meaningful games, so they're used to that as well. So should be a great ball game. And before we get out of here today,
I did find it just
Okay.
to throw it
Yeah,
out there.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not close. 52-0 CSU, 31-12 Michigan, 56-7 UTSA.
wait a minute. By the way, that's a decent Michigan squad that they pounded. So
I mean, yeah, I guess. It's not last year's team.
they're pretty good.
I'm just saying the closest people that it seems the closest game on paper was Michigan with 31-12, because 35-13 was Mississippi State, and that was the next closest.
Well, could you make an argument though that they haven't had the test yet? Tomorrow's their first real test. I mean, big.
I guess. I mean, Oklahoma or OU was ranked 18.
And then
It's
they
a real
actually-
test for sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true.
And funny, the next week, depending on how they do against Georgia, they got to play the dark horse, and you got to go to Vanderbilt. It hasn't worked out for anyone else so far, it seems.
Wouldn't it be something, guys, if Vanderbilt beat Texas?
I'm telling you, if that
the
two hands
sports world would come unglued.
I'm
if
getting
that
a
happened.
Diego Pavia jersey then, and when he enters the transfer portal to play for whoever he wants, if he beats both the Titans, I mean,
I think he's got to be a Heisman candidate if they beat Texas. I'm serious. I mean, that's crazy.
I don't know. The way
It could happen.
they beat Alabama was they just ran the ball
Yeah.
68 times.
Yeah. Well, again, kept ball control, keep us off the.
I think Texas might be a little bit better at running, so it's
Well-
going to be interesting. Anyway,
Well, let's
we'll
talk
see.
about two last teams, and you're going to enjoy both of these. So, as it turns out, Gold has turned out to be quite the prophet this year. He's already predicted Lane Kiffin in Florida, in which there are rumors
He's
about.
getting there.
Also, he called both Army and Navy having decent teams this year, and now look, they are both undefeated. And if I saw it right, I know for sure one of them was ranked. I think they're both in the top 25. How about that? Army and Navy, come on.
That has to be some like stat where it hasn't happened since the 40s. That has to be. Like, it just,
Since Navy had to walk up the mountain without a.
Navy's 25th and Army's 23rd.
There we go.
No
Both of them
respect.
right there. Both undefeated, right?
Yep. Both 5-0
No,
and 6
don't they
now.
play each other at some point this year?
Army Navy game
Oh,
is
there it
November
is.
this year. I have to remember. That's going to be awesome. I hope they remain undefeated.
Wouldn't
for
it
that.
be
Cool,
Hey.
cool mascot story.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you know what Navy's mascot is?
They're the midshipmen, aren't they?
But do you know what their mascot is?
I do not.
They're the midshipmen, but their school mascot is a goat,
A goat?
which doesn't make sense, right?
It's the Navy. Yeah, why would they have a goat?
They were very early in the football career. They were hiking up the mountain to go play Army,
Okay.
found a goat,
Okay.
and drug it up the mountain, and that became that's the mythology
Okay.
of how Navy got a goat.
December 14th for that game. It's going to be awesome.
Wow. Hey, wouldn't it be something if the winner of that game got a playoff berth? They were actually playing for a playoff berth.
That'd be pretty
Not
wild.
that that game needs any hype, but that would be
Where
something.
where is that game?
It's at Army. It's not at Annapolis this year.
Where is that Army?
I don't know
what
what
that means.
It's up in the north.
Oh, okay.
I don't know exactly. I
It's
know
north of
like,
the base of Dixon.
I want to say it's Connecticut or
Is it up there?
something like that,
Mitchie Stadium in
or Vermont or something. I want to say it's up
West
there.
Point. New York.
Oh yeah, West Point, New
That
York.
makes sense. It's in West
So
Point.
Canada.
It makes
It's
sense.
in Canada.
Basic,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
much
forgot.
Canada.
Oh, West Point. How did we not?
Yeah, I don't know. It just took me a minute as well.
Oh, because it's the Army. We don't
Yeah,
care.
it's like whatever.
By the way, just so you know, producer Amy and Gold both here are proud Marine members.
Yeah, I think Navy's team is like 46% Marines this year.
That's why they're kicking
Probably
so
the
much
reason.
butt right now.
There you go. There it is.
So I would,
hoorah, I think is
given
what you
that
guys
they're
say,
playing
right?
on the 14th, that's real close to Gold's birthday. I was
It's,
gonna say.
it's also
That
one
means
day
they'll lose.
after mine. So
Yeah, exactly. They'll disappoint me. That's what they'll give me for my birthday.
Never know.
Disappointment.
Never know. This could be the year. This could be the year. All right. One last thing before we get out of here today. Coach of the week, we're going to go Mississippi State, Jeff Lebby, Lebby. First year at Mississippi State. Having a bit of a rough go. Now, this guy's he's known, by the way, as an offensive genius, offensive mastermind. He's also a recruiting mastermind, so they say. Very first year at Mississippi State. He has been offensive coordinator and the like over at Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and UCF, all great offensive schools. So certainly, but this is his first head coaching gig. So I'm a little surprised that Mississippi State went that direction, but they did. He's having a bit of a rough start, 0-3 in the SEC, 1-5 overall, but he should also remember this. Saban had a very rough first year. Most coaches in the SEC don't have a great first year. I think Sark was different. I think he had a pretty strong first year.
Yeah,
but anyway,
seems to be.
Yeah, but anyway, so good luck to Jeff Libby. Married 2 kids. Hope he does well over at Mississippi State. And if he can put up with all those cowbells, more power to him. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy both the cowbells and all of the great football this week. It's going to be a fantastic week of football. Thank you so much for joining us. And once again, subscribe, like, and see if we can't push this thing up to 100. Looking for 100 subscribers. Help us out.
One day.